Good morning, students. I welcome all ninth standard students for the online classes. Once again, we are discussing about the diversity of living organisms, as this lesson is very much bigger and very important. So, it is taking much time that, of course, I am taking the much time to give you enough sufficient knowledge about the diversity of living organisms. That's why it is taking many videos. Only some topics only I am giving in the videos. Okay. So the total lesson will be covered with elaborate information. Okay. And today, with regards of this classification of animals, we have already discussed about the class species, and today we are going to discuss about the class amphibians as well as the class reptiles. Let us first class amphibians. Class amphibians. This is the second class of the classification of animals. Okay. In this, all the organisms, first of all we will discuss about the examples. Examples of this are frogs, newts, salamanders, toads, etc. These are the major examples for this class amphibians. Actually, what the meaning of this amphibians? Amphibians. Amphi means the organism which can live more than one place. The organism which can live successfully more than one place. That is called amphibian. So, amphi, that is meaning of amphi, and B also means organisms. The animals which can live more than one place, which can lead their life more than one place. Those animals are called as amphibians. Okay, here these animals are easily and very comfortably live in the water as well as on the land. Okay, and even some of these animals like toads and salamanders may live only on the land, but they use the water. All these amphibian organisms use the water for reproduction. Here the water play an important role in the reproduction. Okay, so these are called as amphibians. Okay, frogs, newts, salamanders as well as the toads. These are the best examples for this amphibians, and these are the organisms can respire at the, they have the three stages in their life. We can see the metamorphosis in their life cycle. Metamorphosis means right from the embryo stage to adult stage, right from the embryo stage to adult stage, a lot of changes will be occur in their life cycle. So such type of situation, phenomena of changes that are occur in the life cycle of these amphibians is called as metamorphosis. Metamorphosis. So in the period of metamorphosis, these animals will have the different types of respiratory organs. So at the stage of larva, so here eggs are developed into tadpole, developed into larva. Larva, at the larva stage, that means tadpole, it is also called as a tadpole. larva of the frog is also called as a tadpole. At the stage of larva, they have the gills as a respiratory organs. Gills as the respiratory organs in the larva stage of the amphibians. Okay, and after this larva develops into adult stage. Larva develops into adult stage. That means frog, adult frog. These have the lungs as the respiratory organs. Lungs as the respiratory organs. See, at the larva stage they have the gills as the respiratory organs. At the adult stage they have the lungs. The gills are modified into lungs, and lungs are the respiratory organs for these amphibians. And along with these lungs, when these amphibians, when the frog is in the water, best example frog you can take it. Okay, frog is in the water, it will respire. When this frog is in the water, when this frog is in the water, it will respire with the help of skin. So, the frog is having the 3 respiratory organs. At the larva stage, gills. At adult stage, lungs when it is on the land. When it is in the water, it is respiring with skin. So, there are the 3 respiratory organs in the amphibian's body. At the particular stage, they have the particular organ for the respiration. And they, when you touch that frog, it will be slipping from our body. Slipping from our hand. Why? Because the skin of the this frog body is completely moist in condition. Mucous membrane will be presented on the skin, on the body of the frogs. This mucous membrane the mucus will be produced from the mucus glands. Numerous mucus glands means number of mucus glands are presented on the skin, and they release the gum, sticky, slippery like structure will be produced by these glands. That is called mucus. Because of this mucus, it will be slipped from our body, the frog. And they have the 4 limbs for locomotion. And here locomotion means moving the total body from one place to another place. There are 4 limbs, total 4 limbs, front 2 limbs, front 2, back 2. So front limbs are called as the 4 limbs, and back limbs are called as the hind limbs. So, when you see this front limbs, frog, they have the 3 digits in the legs. Only 3 digits are presented in the 4 limbs. 3 digits. And when you go for the back limbs of the frog, this is the back limb, this is the back, that is the hind limb, and this is the forelimb. So in the forelimb there are only 3 digits are presented. In the hind limb there are 4 digits are presented here. This is a different characteristic for the amphibians, and these are well developed digestive system is presented for these amphibians. Well developed digestive system right from the mouth to anus. Almost all the glands which are very much similar to the human beings. Such glands, internal organs are presented in these frogs. And frog's mouth is very much large, and the tongue of the frog is double than the size of the frog. That means amphibian's tongue is double than the size of the amphibian. So they can spread the tongue. Wherever, suppose you see this one, this is a frog. Okay. The insect have been found here. The insect have been found here, and the tongue will be spread over. Tongue will be spread over towards that victim and hold up that victim and taking into the mouth and swallow it. And at the starting point of the tongue, there will be a bulb-like structure is presented, which is sticky in nature. So immediately when it is spreading the tongue, immediately the insect will be attached to this tongue. So within a fraction of a second, that will be enter into the mouth of the frog, and that will be digested. This is the in case of digestive system. And frogs cannot walk. Remember, they can jump, they can leap from one place to another place by using of these limbs. And when come to the reproduction, these always follow the sexual reproduction, because these are unisexual organisms. Male frogs are separated and female frogs are separated. As I told you already that the croaking sound is given in the rainy season by the frogs, back, but that is by male frogs. They are calling that, they are attracting the opposite gender, that is the female frogs, for reproduction. So where the plenty of water is there the reproduction will be taking place by the frogs. Sexual reproduction will be taken where the plenty of water is there. This is the water. So the male frog releases the sperm into the water. The sperm of the male frog is called spawn. The sperm of the male frog is called spawn. Is released into the water, and the female frog release the ova into the water, and the sperm will be travel along with the water current and fusing with the ova and produces eggs, fertilized eggs, and these eggs are developed into larva develop into adult frog. Okay, so here the fertilization. What is the meaning of fertilization here? Fusion of male gamete with the female gamete. This is called fertilization, and producing the fertilized eggs. Zygote. What is that? Zygote. So the fusion of male gamete with the female gamete is happening in the outside the female body, that is in the water. So here the water plays an important role in the reproduction of the amphibians. Okay, so as the fertilization is occur outside the female body, it is called external fertilization. External fertilization. I told you already, internal fertilization as well as the external fertilization. Internal fertilization means the fertilization which is occur inside the female body, that is called internal fertilization. The fertilization which is occur outside the female body, that is called external fertilization. So external fertilization is preferred by these frogs or these amphibians. That's why the water is very important here. So they use the water for the reproduction. Okay, understood now? Understood or not? Okay, very good. This is about the amphibians, class amphibians. Okay. And some more points about the amphibians. The upper eyelids, if you see the eye of the amphibians, the upper eyelid as well as the lower eyelid, this is is the upper eyelid and this is the lower eyelid. Upper eyelid as well as the lower eyelid cannot move. Upper eyelid as well as the lower eyelid cannot move. But there is a third eyelid is presented inside this upper and lower eyelids. Third eyelid will be presented there. That is called nictitating layer. Nictitating membrane. This is the third eyelid of this amphibian that will be moving up and down for cleaning of the eyes. Okay, but in the human beings only upper eyelid and lower eyelid will be moving. Closing, the blinking of eyes will be taking place. If you take one mirror and see your eye in the mirror at this corner, you might be finding the one thin layer will be presented there. That is called nictitating layer or nictitating membrane. And this membrane is non-functional in the human beings, higher grade animals. But whereas it's very much functional in the amphibians. Okay. Now let us learn about the reptilia, class reptilia. Before learning that, one point about the frogs, we have the external ear pinna. This is very much useful for us because it will direct the sound waves to enter into the inner ear. But whereas in the frogs, this external ear pinna is absent. Only the tympanum, means the ear drum, which is presented inside the ear, that will cover the ears. Okay, no external ear pinna is present in the frogs, that means amphibians. So let us learn about the reptilia. These are the first terrestrial organisms. The first terrestrial animals. Terrestrial means land animals. Of course, some of the reptilia may be living in the water completely. Some of them may living completely in the water, sometimes on the land also. That is a different way. But these are the first terrestrial animals in the earth. Terrestrial means land animals. Their skin is covered by scales and dry skin we can find it. And their size is continuously growing. The skin will be continuously changing by removing the old skin and new skin will be formed for these organisms. The examples for these organisms are snakes, crocodiles, tortoise, turtles, varanus, dinosaurs. These are the examples for this class reptilia. They are the examples. Among these, actually dinosaurs are the largest reptiles in the world, but these dinosaurs are completely extinct from the earth. Extinct means disappear. Because of some reason, these dinosaurs are completely disappeared. So now at present, the largest reptilia in the world is varanus. The largest reptilia in the world is varanus. Okay, and here when come to the respiration, these will respire with the help of lungs. These will respire with the help of lungs, and the digestion will be well developed. Digestive system is well developed, and the digestion takes place holozoic digestion means direct. They will be swallowing. They cannot masticate the food material. They will be swallowing the food material and digestion will be taking place. And these are sexually reproduced oviparous animals. Oviparous means egg laying animal. They lay the eggs and eggs are hatched and developed into babies. That is the oviparous animals. Okay, and these are cold-blooded animals. Even this reptilia as well as the amphibians as well as this species are the cold-blooded animals. As I told you already that cold-blooded animals. Okay, poikilothermic animals. Understand? And also next, respiration by lungs. Respiration will be taken by lungs. Sexual reproduction will be taking place because these show the sexual dimorphism, unisexual animals, unisexual organisms. Okay, and their blood circulation, the heart is having the incompletely divided 4-chambered heart. See, we will see this one actually. The evolution of heart, auricles, ventricle. This is in fish. Auricles, right ventricle, left ventricle. This is frogs. Right auricle, left auricle, right ventricle, left ventricle. This is in snakes. Right auricle, left auricle, right ventricle, left ventricle. This is in birds. The same will be there, birds as well as the mammals. 4-chambered heart will be presented in the birds as well as the mammals. You can see here now the evolution of the heart. If you see this one, there is a 2-chambered heart in the species. 2-chambered heart, upper auricle, lower ventricle. So mixed blood will be supplied there. And in the amphibians, 3-chambered heart we can find it. 3-chambered heart is found here. 3-chambered heart. Sorry. This is the ventricle. This is the right auricle. This is the left auricle. 3-chambered heart is presented. Auricle is divided into 2 parts, but the ventricle is not divided. Here also mixed blood will be supplied. And when come to the reptilia, except crocodile, remaining all are having the snakes and crocodiles. So except crocodiles, remaining all the reptilia are having the 3-chambered heart. In the crocodile, you might be finding the incompletely divided 4-chambered heart. Here auricles are divided, but ventricles are not divided. It is attached here. Incompletely divided 4-chambered heart is presented in the crocodiles. Okay. Except these crocodiles, remaining all having the 3-chambered heart. And when come to the birds and mammals, a completely divided 4-chambered heart will be presented here. 4-chambered heart is presented here. This is the evolution of the heart. Okay. So that's why as mixed blood is supplying in this condition of this 3 evolution of heart in the 3 organisms like species, amphibians and reptilia, they are poikilothermic animals. Poikilothermic animals. Cold-blooded animals. And whereas the birds and mammals are homeothermic animals. Warm-blooded animals. Okay, this is the better information about the evolution of how the heart is developed from one organism to another organ, one level to another level. Okay, and next, except these snakes, remaining all the organisms are having the limbs for locomotion, moving from one place to another place. But snakes are the limbless animals. They don't have the limbs. Legs are not present in the snakes. So they will be crawling. They will be crawling. Okay. The limbless animal in the reptilia category is snake. The remaining all other reptilia category animals are having the four limbs. They have the four limbs, two forelimbs and two hind limbs, and they have the 5 digits. They have the 5 digits for each leg. So they are the pentadactyl animals. Here the pentadactyl, that means 5 number of digits are presented in the legs. Okay, that will be continued for the next category also, even birds as well as the mammals. Okay. And whereas when you go for the tortoise and turtle, tortoise are bigger than the turtles. Turtles are very much smaller, and turtles will be living, turtles as well as the crocodiles will be living completely in the water. Only for laying the eggs, they will be coming out of the water. Whereas the tortoise living on the land, piranhas living on the land, dinosaurs living on the land, snakes, some snakes will be living in the water, some snakes will be living on the land. But these will be for laying the eggs, they will be coming out of the water. That's why remember, these are the first terrestrial animals. Okay. As the frogs, I told you already that earlier, hibernation, estivation will be taking place, summer sleep as well as the winter sleep. In the earlier videos, once you observe that one, you might be knowing that. So here these reptilia also only in the summer season, winter season, only in the winter season they will be showing the hibernation process. Means they will be undergo the hibernation, means hiding or sleeping continuously in the winter season, 4 months continuously in the winter season, by using the fat in their body as their energy source. Okay, this is about the reptilia. In the next video, we are going to discuss about the apes as well as the mammals. Okay, thank you.